How's it going, everybody? I wanted to tell you uh, a little story. Just a few months back, I had the opportunity to go to LSU and with my father, and it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. Um, you know, back when I first started writing LSU articles, you know, I my father had never been gung ho supportive of my creative endeavors. He had been very supportive when me and my brother Eric had our own rock band, Magnum Shift, and would play concerts and do all this sorts of stuff. He was very supportive of all of that, very supportive of playing guitar and learning all these different instruments, all of that. But letting us use his truck, of course, to take gear to shows and stuff like that. But I never really felt like he supported my writing, and I was a big writer, writing a lot of different books, wasting a lot of their ink and a lot of their paper, printing these giant novels ever since like third and fourth grade, second grade. Writing fake mafia books that would basically just rip off The Godfather, or Mike Sinclair, which was basically a James Bond ripoff. I would. He was kind of more. What's the word here? Kind of more just like amused by it than anything. But it was more my mom who kind of understood, like, okay, he's kind of got my journalistic genes, my writing genes, he's kind of going after that with that. And she kind of understood that, was more understood all of that. But once I really kind of married sports with writing, then I think my father was able to become interested enough to really read my stuff, really actually read what I was doing, actually watch these interviews, watch these appearances. Um, and, our relationship has been turbulent over the years. There's been times where it was really bad. There was times where we could not communicate. There was times where we could not get through to the other. There was times where there was a lot of great stuff we could have said to each other. It was just left unsaid. Um, there was a lot of times where we got in fights that should never have happened over the dumbest, most fickle stuff that has nothing to do or no lasting effect on our relationship, but in that moment would just. And I think it was all stemmed from how alike we are, but then with these very specific differences. And I think that has always been something that we always can know exactly what each other is thinking, but then we surprise each other too, and it kind of throws our relationship for a loop at times. But I must say, um, in the last year, just the last year straight, it's been fantastic. But before that, even when I first started LSUODYSSEY.com, the first person to really back it, believe in it, and even invest in it was my father. Um, and it's incredible what he's helped me to achieve here. And he saw it before it happened, just because he trusted me and believed in what I could do. And that's something that I'll always be unbelievably grateful for, because without that, none of this is possible. Um, Still be creating, but maybe not on a platform even close to as big. Or maybe I just lose confidence and lose, sight of everything, and But I kind of wanted to prove to him, like, listen, old man, I can do this, you know. And I think I proved that to him, but I don't think I completely, you know, broke through that barrier with my father until I took him to Louisiana with me back in March, early April. During that week, 8-day trip, um, we literally were everywhere together, except for when I was going to these LSU media stuff. And even then, if he could be allowed in and things like that, we got him in there. But he saw everything with LSU. He got to meet a lot of random people. He got to meet like Don Cannon, a good friend of mine, one of the first and diehard believers of LSUODYSSEY.com, of just me, just total believer in me. One of the first people who actually supported and believed. It was very cool that Don got to meet me, of course, but then got to meet my father. It sucked because the timing was like I was about to go in for spring practice, and so I literally had like 20, 30 seconds to even talk to Don. But I think him and my dad got to talk a bit more, but it was very cool for my dad to get to meet him. But then when my dad was able to meet Jack Besh, and when Jack Besh, walks up to him and says, "Thank you for your service," my dad being a Vietnam veteran, I think that absolutely, you know, made my dad's absolute year. Because here's a, you know, future All-American level future NFL player, current dominant Tiger, telling him, "Thank you for your service." I think I think it meant a lot to him to have that, have a wide variety of people in Louisiana just walking up to him and just talking to him. "Thank you for your service," just chit chatting with him, being so nice. Louisiana, you were amazing to my father. I want to thank you for that. It was unbelievable because I would just come out of a store or come out of the hotel or whatever, and if my dad was out there first, he would just be talking to some random person who's having the time of his life and just meeting random people. And while I was doing these media events that he wasn't allowed in, obviously without media credentials, um, he would be going all about town, going to these museums, doing all sorts of craziness and meeting all sorts of people. And that's the thing about my father. He is someone who's all about adventure. And so I knew, you know, taking him down to Louisiana would be something that would really be an adventure as well. And it was a hell of an adventure. I don't think it would have had twice. It would, if I had been down there alone or potentially with somebody else, unless it was like Chelsea or maybe like one or two trusted friends, I probably would have been a nervous wreck constantly. But with my father, I was able to really chill and relax. My father is the most chill, most fearless person I have ever met. Um, Fearless to a fault, fearless to a danger, but he's still here. Um, there's been so many things that he has gone through. He has beaten cancer. He has taken cancer on. I mean, that was insane. When he got that diagnosis, it was a little rough because his own father, Thomas Ray Phillips, passed away due to cancer back in 1980, 1981. I think it was 1980. Um, and I never even met my grandfather, T. Ray, you know, and cancer took him. So my dad getting cancer was just it was very worrying. And he's able to beat that, and he's able to overcome. My father has been through a lot. He's been through a war, fighting in the Vietnam War, and experiencing a lot of intense, life altering situations there. And he came home with that, with that kind of scars those kind of scars with him, and he overcame that as well. He was able to acclimate back into the world from such a crazy war and meet my mom and have 4 kids. Have a really they've been married since 1983, so they're coming up on what their 40th anniversary, 50th anniversary. Let me do the math there. Their 40th anniversary, people. They're coming up on their 40th anniversary with 4 kids. They lived in Saudi Arabia together. They lived in a lot of different countries together. Um, and my dad has dealt with a lot of the different things that have been a lot of adversity. His hip surgery. My dad is a very active person. Was a tennis champion. I believe up to a semi-pro level, and has many, many trophies from his tennis years. And he loves his cars. He loves to work on his vehicles. He loves to do projects. He's an active person. So when his hip surgery happened, it got him down bad too. And that was, I believe, when I was in junior high. And for almost a year straight, his mobility was lacking. It seemed, at least for a half a year. And he's able to overcome that. And I feel like in retirement now, he's in such a good spot here with my mom, just being able to relax and enjoy their final years here for the last. I think they've got so much time left here. They've got 20 plus years where they can just relax and kick back and enjoy the time. And that's why I wanted to take him down to a place like Louisiana and show him LSU, show him what I was up to. Because I don't think, when you hear someone say, I'm talking to this person and, oh yeah, I published this article and we did this interview, it doesn't really click as much as being able to show them, have them meet people that you have been talking to for so long, have been friends with for so long, have really been close to, and have them see all this part of your life, and have it be at such a this is LSU football. Okay, being able to take my father down to probably the second behind Alabama, only behind Alabama, as the best college football program of the last 20 to 30 years. Being able, our team to take him down there, show him the Heisman of Joe's and Billy Cannon's, show him the national championship trophies, show him that beautiful gold CFP and those crystal ball BCS trophies, the 58 trophy. Show him the Ben Wilkerson's Remington Award. Show him all of this stuff. It was unbelievable. It was so much fun. And LSU really rolled out the purple and gold carpet for me and my father. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything, LSU. It was incredible. And it's hopefully going to happen again very soon. It's just my father and I haven't always been on the best terms. We've hit some huge rough patches. There was 6, 7 months straight where we didn't speak a word to each other. Not a word. That's pretty intense to admit that right now here and before you all, but that's the truth. There were serious fights, serious animosity. And the fact that we've been able to overcome it all to get to the place that we are right now, when I'm about to have my own son very soon here at the end of this summer, it's something that is huge, for lack of a better term. Um, and yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there right now who their fathers have passed away recently. I'm thinking of a few people right now just off the top of my head, and I just want to say I'm thinking of you today. I feel so blessed to actually have a father still here with us. And there's not going to be a 7 month period again, 2 month period again, 1 week period again where there's no words said and there's all this animosity and um, anger, and you can't get over petty bullshit. You know, that's gone. There's not even like a thought of that. So it's just a very different feeling for me. I used to the wars and the battles. It's very great, and it's something I cherish, and I'm glad that we've been able to get to that point. And seriously, I'm so grateful that things have been able to chill out and been able to be repaired. And I'm so grateful to have a dad, and grateful to have him as my dad. He's been a great father, and he's actually only gotten better with age, really. And he's still getting better as a father every day, And he's a very good example for me. And anyway, I've rambled enough. Thanks, Dad. Love you.